Welcome everyone to my channel. I'm so excited that you're here. Happy New Year to everyone. This is something I've been wanting to do for a really long time and I wasn't sure how I was going to do this. So hi everybody, I'm A. So while this isn't an awesome adventure, like we're not physically going anywhere, but I'm going to talk about something that I really enjoy, which is award shows. And they're not for everyone, and I get that. My name is Adrienne. Everybody calls me A. That's why it's Awesome Adventures with A. And something that I really enjoy is watching these award shows. And last night was the 2025 Golden Globe Awards held at the Beverly Hilton. And it's one of my favorite award shows. I love the Academy Awards. I love the Oscars. I love SAG. But I really enjoy the Golden Globes. I think it's just a little more fun. It's a little more because while SAG is also TV and film, the Golden Globes is TV and film, but it's not just the actors. You've got directors, you've got the composers, you've got the screenwriters. Writers are really important. So that's why I really happen to enjoy this particular one. But one of my favorite aspects of any award show is the red carpet. I enjoy the red carpet very much. And I'm not a fashionista by any means. I do love a bright color. This orange was not my idea, but the painting, isn't that painting lovely? My very dear friends, Nikki and Will, sent that to us as a wedding gift. And it's really one of my favorites. And it fit like perfectly. Like who knew that would I was like, oh my gosh, so beautiful. So thank you, Will and Nikki. I just appreciate it so much. So let's talk. Let's get down to the nitty gritty and talk about the red carpet. So there was a couple changes last minute. So E! News, which is entertainment news, usually does the red carpet. They're one of the main people that do these red carpets and they start early and everything. There was a little bit of a kerfuffle and the person that normally hosts the red carpet of recent years, Laverne Cox, she canceled. And I don't know if she quit or something else came up, and it was very last minute. I want to say it was like Thursday or Friday that this happened. And they had to kind of scramble and get someone else. The woman has worked on E! She had a beautiful white dress on. I don't remember her name. She did a good job. I think her energy was a little low, to be honest. And I think she's more newsworthy, where she's like Laverne Cox she's got that great laugh and she really does some really wonderful things, where she was just kind of interviewing them. And it was okay. It was okay. The other person, because usually there's two people on the carpet, the other person was Heather McMahon. She's a comedian who looked lovely in lavender, and she was funny. She was really great. I wish she had gotten some more stars to interview, because sometimes if they don't stop at one, they'll stop at the other one. But she got some good ones. She got Ariana Grande, which I thought was hysterical. And I don't know if she got to meet Glenn Powell because she just wanted to know what he smelled like. So, okay, here's what we're going to start with. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. This was what I noted and this is strictly just the red carpet. We'll get to the show in a minute. This is what was trending. Gloves. Gloves was a very, very, very big trend on the carpet. I think they were, I don't want to go back to old Hollywood glamour, but a few of the people were wearing gloves and long gloves, like up to here. And I was like, it's a choice, and good for you. If it went with it, great. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I say take a risk. Why not? Gold was definitely a color on the carpet that was really beautiful. A lot of different people had different aspects of it, a lot of beautiful gold dresses, and those were a couple of my favorites. Pops of color, there was like fluorescent pink on Kerry Washington, a lot of red. And let me tell you, a lot of red. We'll get to the red ones. And the gentlemen were killing it in like, I don't want to say a hunter green, but like a deep forest green. Oh yes, they were killing it, the gentlemen. Blues too for the gentlemen. And the women had their hair down. A few of them did have it up, and again, when you do think of something like that, usually your hair, you do it up. That's more Oscars, though. Like Golden Globes, you can kind of get away with doing an updo or keeping it down, and I actually liked the down hair on a lot of the actresses. They looked absolutely amazing. A lot of neutral colors, too, which I really, really did like. I thought that was really, really beautiful. and I don't want to say like a brown, but it was like neutral. And it had either a sparkle to it or like a satin sheen. And I think it looked really great on all of the people that was wearing it. Feathers were there. They were there. And Sarah Paulson looked amazing. I'm just getting over pneumonia, so bear with me. And something else, someone that I follow on TikTok and now Instagram is Jack Savoy. He's an amazing fashion interpreter. That's what I call him. He is so fantastic. I love his take on fashion, and I've learned a lot by listening to him. And he loves a necklace. And I get nervous because I wait to see what he's going to say. And when I was seeing the women arriving on the carpets, I was like, oh, yay, they're wearing necklaces. Because when they don't have it, depending on what you're wearing, sometimes you don't need it and you have a beautiful earring. But if you don't have any beautiful earring and you don't have a beautiful necklace and you have your décolletage out, you kind of miss the mark, and you can wear these beautiful pieces of jewelry. So I was a little nervous, but the ladies did a great job. And also, I think the color, and I'm going to say chocolate, that was Zoe Saldana, and she looked stunning. There was a lot of this like chocolate brown color throughout again, the gentleman, a lot of velvet on the gentleman as well, some of the ladies too. So those were some trending things that I noticed on the red carpet, and I think they really stepped it up this year. Were there some misses? Yeah, there were some misses, but did they still look stunning? Was their makeup and hair perfect? Yes. Sometimes the dress wasn't the best fit, and I think that has a lot to do with it. No matter what size you are, if it doesn't fit you properly, you can be very slender and very fit yourself, but if it's boxy, the dress could be stunning, but it doesn't look right on your body. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fit is so important. As Tim Gunn used to say, it's about the fit. It's not about the size. It's got to fit you properly. So, and wow, I mean, so, okay. All right, let's get to the nitty gritty. We're going to start at the beginning. I have my notes. Very important. The first thing that I saw, and this is something that makes me really, truly love a celebrity, is when I say celebrity, I do use that term loosely, because what is the definition of a celebrity? And I'm going to take a sip here of my Joffrey's coffee. Hey, Joffrey's, I am a DVC club member. Joffrey's coffee is choice. You can come at me in the comments. It's fine. Some people are going to be like, what the heck is Joffrey's coffee? If you've been to Disney, you know. I think last night was Glenn Powell's night. I know he didn't win anything, but I find it, I mean, he is a very handsome man. He looked great. He had on a chocolate brown suit on, no tie, great shirt, great jacket, cummerbund. He got out of his car and he directly went to the fans, took pictures. I don't know if he signed any autographs, but he took pictures both sides, and it was far from going, literally as soon as he got out. And you don't have to do that. Several celebrities did do that, and we will get to those. And I said, look at that. He doesn't have to do that. He doesn't. And he did. So I was like, kudos to you, Glenn Powell. Then watching different things, watching the red carpets on TV, going through social media and TikTok and seeing, what was everyone doing. And he really tried to talk to everyone. And I think that's great. And he is new, and this was a really big year for him. He had Twisters. He had Hitman, which is great if you haven't seen it on Netflix. That's what he was nominated for in the comedy category. And not only that, he co-wrote it. I didn't even know that until last night. I was like, and it was based on a true story, which was great. So highly recommend watching it. It's a really fun movie to watch, actually. I was pleasantly surprised when I did see it. And I love that he brings his parents. His parents are so cute. His mom looked beautiful. She had on a black, I don't want to say satin, but it looks satin, like tuxedo, and they were just so proud. And he brings them along to everything. And I just think that was really sweet. And you could tell they were excited. And I'm sure they got to meet a whole bunch of really cool people. And I just think and he's a big star. I mean, he's on the up, he is definitely on the upswing. I think he's kind of grounded, and I really like that. And I don't remember which outlet. It might have been Access Hollywood. Don't hold me to it. It might have been Kit and Mario Lopez. And he's a big football guy. And they had the football coach. And he was more excited about that. He did the whole little doo-doo whatever it was. It was like, the horns or something like that. And he said he would be more tongue-tied meeting this coach than any of the celebrities there. And I was like, that's cool. Like, I love that. And he was really, touched. So in one video that I saw, he was passing the Today Show. There's like E, Access Hollywood, Entertainment Tonight. I love Entertainment Tonight. I love Kevin and Nichelle, and Rachel. I've met Rachel Smith. She's lovely. I love them. I just love the show. I think they do such a great job, and they're really great interviewers. But someone with the Today Show, they were like with all the other people, on the red carpet, and they were calling for Glenn. And he's like, I promise I'll be back. And I'm like, oh, he's not coming back. Maybe a little while later, last night, I was going through everything, and he went back. And he said, I told you I was going to come back. I did promise you. And he came back, and he gave him a question or two or what have you. And I said, that's a stand-up guy. He may not be able to do that long term, but I thought that was great. I really, really thought that was great. And it's so hard. For someone who's interviewed on red carpets, your spot matters without a doubt. But also I think what's really important too is that, sometimes they're pressed for time. They do have other commitments. They have to see this person. They have to see that person. They can't get to everyone as much as they would like to get to everyone. And I think being kind matters. And I think you have to be assertive and not pushy. There is a difference. So if you're like, hey, Glenn, coming over, just one question. And he's like, I'll come back. Okay. Don't get mad. Don't get upset. If he comes back, that's points for you. So have a great question ready. Don't be just like, what's your favorite color? No, those are not a question. Do you like hot dogs or do you like hamburgers? No, that is not a fun question. No. Something with a little more depth, something about his excitement of the evening. What is it like being there with his parents? Things like that. Those are the types of questions you want to ask him that get a really good answer, not, hot dogs or hamburgers, or what are you wearing? Sometimes they want to be asked, what are they wearing? Or you can say, wow, you look amazing. That's a great brooch. That's a great this. That's a great that. Okay. So Glenn Powell to me was the winner last night. Oh, Zuri Hall. That was her name. See, I wrote it down. Zuri Hall was the red carpet host for E! She looked stunning. She had this white, beautiful gown on. She looked absolutely beautiful. Her makeup, her hair, everything was stunning. She got many, many compliments last night. So one of the first guests was Mindy Kaling. Now, I don't have a lot of the names of the actual dresses that they wore. It was gold and glitter and crystals, and she looked stunning. Absolutely stunning. And Mindy Kaling's been around a while. She's a phenomenal writer. I think she's literally in the midst of writing for 3 different television shows, which that's a lot, She's given, what's-his-face, Yellowstone guy, Taylor Sheridan, a run for his money. She really looked absolutely beautiful. I don't always get her sense of humor. Sometimes she's very dry, very deadpan, but she looked stunning. Absolutely stunning. The next woman that I saw, and my jaw dropped, because I'm like, who is that? It was Maren Morris, the country singer. Beautiful voice. I do actually like a lot of her music. She was there for, I want to say, The Wild Robot. She was co-writer. She looked stunning. It was ravishing in red. Ravishing in red. It was the structure of the dress. It was absolutely beautiful. Oh, and then I put Heather McMahon, because she got to talk to Maren. And Heather was beautiful in a lilac purple, maybe a little deeper than lilac, lavender, with a cape. She looked stunning. It was sparkly, and I love a sparkle. Anytime there was a sparkle, I'm in. So then they showed us Ali Wong, who was a winner last night. Bravo to you, Ali Wong. I think she was kind of shocked. I was too. I didn't expect her to win. I thought it would have went to Jamie Foxx or possibly Nikki Glaser, so I was a little surprised. And all the comedians were there. That's the other thing. Sometimes not everyone, and sometimes it happens, they're either filming or they have other commitments, but all of the comedians were there. Adam, Seth, Jamie Foxx, who looked great. We'll get to him later. I thought they were feathers, but they were pieces of fabric that looked like feathers. And it was red. She had gloves too. It was a choice. She looked great. Not something and I like outlandish things. It wasn't my favorite look of hers. I will say that. I think she's worn better outfits, and I like her sense of fashion because it's different. Last night it wasn't doing it for me. Zoe Saldana. She came with her mom, which I was already like, oh my goodness. I don't remember. She might have gone to the fans. I don't recall off the top of my head. She was stunning. She had a cape. It was this chocolate color. And with her skin tone, her makeup, her hair, the necklace, it was sequins. And, I mean, it was amazing. She looked absolutely beautiful. And and you know, she's been in the business over 20 years and never was nominated. She's done some amazing, especially Avatar. I know people are like, oh, Avatar, that's a hard thing to do. And I think for her character, she does an amazing job. So spoiler alert, she won 2 last night and I cried because I was just so happy for her, because it's like, I remember the first time I saw her was Center Stage. Love that movie, Center Stage. She was such a mean person in that, but she had reasons for that. But she's done so many amazing things. And if you are not watching The Lioness on Paramount Plus, you are missing out. Morgan Freeman, Nicole Kidman, and Zoe Saldana. Phenomenal. Great show. Anyway, we're moving on. So now we'll get to Mr. Glenn Powell. He had his shades on. It was just such a beautiful chocolate brown tux. I really, really like that. So now we have Miss Kerry Washington, who always is fashion. She is Miss Fashion. I wasn't a huge fan of the gloves with the dress. The color was everything. It was like this kind of the pink color. It was great. Very structured to me, like it was bunched and here and there, and it was different. And again, she always looks amazing on the carpet. I really liked it. Her hair was down. Like I said, a lot of women had their hair down. It was okay. It was okay. Not a favorite look of mine, but she still looked absolutely amazing. And I love her. I just love her. And her movie on Netflix, again, is a must watch. Pleasantly surprised. And I think, again, this is something that should be shown in schools. We're taking a sip of my Joffrey's coffee. Now we're coming to the host, Nikki Glaser. We'll get to what I thought of her A+ performance shortly. She had this beautiful, and I'm going to say neutral, because it wasn't nude, but it was a neutral color, like a beige. But beige is, I don't want to say beige, but it was satin. It had a rose. It fit her like a glove. She looked gorgeous. Her glam, her hair. She was so calm and collected and ready to go. And she said she had rehearsed her monologue 93 times. 93 times she rehearsed this. That's why she did such a great job. Because when you rehearse, it shows. 93 times. I was like, oh my gosh, she was so amazing. Amazing. It was just beautiful. It might have been a satin finish, but she looked gorgeous. Janelle James from Abbott Elementary. Another great show. If you're not watching it, I don't know what you're doing. It's great. She debuted short hair, which also was a trend. Actually, I have to say there was a couple, Emily Stone, she too, formerly Emma, she had a short hair too. Woo, loved it. She had on like a black velvet mermaid. Oh my gosh, looked absolutely amazing. It was custom Soriano. We love Christian Soriano. And her short hair, and she looked amazing. My only caveat, she didn't have a necklace. She had earrings, but they were small. She needed a little, like a choker, or she needed something there, but this was the best I've ever seen her look. She looked absolutely stunning, and the hair made the whole thing, and you knew she looked good. And when she saw herself on the monitor, she was like, oh, I look and she did. She looked fabulous last night. Cate Blanchett. Cate Blanchett is always a fashion risk taker. She was in, I call it liquid gold last night. Shimmering, stunning, a little structured on top. It was kind of cool. Always looked great. Cooper Koch, who was in Monsters on Netflix, played one of the Menendez brothers. Very handsome man. He had on classic tux, and I liked that he had like a ribbed white shirt underneath. I pay attention to details. Really, really top notch. He was excited to be there. Then let's talk about Carla Sofia Gascon, I believe is her name. She was in two-toned orange, draped. She looked beautiful. I think she was nervous. It was an exciting night. Amelia Perez was nominated, most nominations, 10 nominations, and they won several last night, which was a bit, I think, of a shock for a lot of people. And I think when you watch the film, you will understand why. Should Wicked have won? Talk about that. Because Amelia Perez is also a musical. So that's interesting. But she looked lovely. Her hair, her glam, she looked lovely last night. Amy Adams, and I am a huge fan. I know not everyone is a fan. I love Amy Adams. I have loved her from the first time that I've seen her. And Enchanted is one of my favorite movies. She's just so adorable. She can do funny and quirky and silly and super duper serious. Like scary, serious. She's great. She just has that. Her eyes. Oh my gosh. The Fighter. Oh my gosh. She was so good in The Fighter with Mark Wahlberg and Christian Bale. Love that. She was in like a Merlot wine. Now, the dress was very safe, very simple. She looked amazing. And you could tell she felt amazing in the dress, right? I really liked it. And her diamonds were sparkling. Fabulous. So this is one of my best dressed of the nights, hands down. Dakota Fanning. And I say little Dakota Fanning. I remember watching her from the Twilight series. She wore red. And she wore this dress. It was so stunning. She didn't even need jewelry. Her hair, I don't even know if she had makeup on. She probably did. Stunning. Stunning. And the way it worked was like it was like a scarf, but it was attached to the dress, and so it was like a necklace. If you can look this, absolutely stunning and beautiful. Her sister Elle was there also. I think they were both nominated. Elle had a different look. Again, a neutral color with like a little leopard stuff up over here. Different, beautiful. But Dakota, definitely one of my top. Eddie Redmayne, Broadway star, Academy Award winner. And this is when I love when the gentlemen step it up, and he had like a checkered suit on, and I was there for it. I was like, it's okay. It hurts your eyes after you look at it for a little while, but I loved it. I think he's great, and I like him a lot. I think I love when he does get interviewed because he really has some great answers to some questions. Pamela Anderson. I was rooting for her last night. I was so rooting for her last night, but it's okay. She had black, simple black. I was expecting a little more va-va-voom, which, not necessarily her showing, but something. She still looked great. She wore no makeup. And I love that she does that. I love that she's like, I don't care. This is who I am now. I'm such and such an age. And she took her son. Her son, Brandon, was her escort. And I want to bring this up because before they interviewed Demi Moore, they were talking to Pamela. This was on E! And Demi Moore comes up and notices the son and, says, oh, hi, I'm Demi. And they introduce each other. And he was so sweet. And he was so excited saying, my mom, and she's like, oh, she looks so wonderful. And I wasn't really paying attention to what Pamela was saying because I loved that interaction between Demi and Brandon. And you could see Brandon as a son. He was so happy for his mom. And Pamela kind of got the crappy end of the stick. Yes, she was the Baywatch queen. Yes, she was the Playboy queen for many, many years. And, she barbed wire, not, revered well, kind of became a cult classic. And then, her marriage is kind of got a lot more stuff than she did. But this movie, which comes out on January 10th, which is The Last Showgirl with Jamie Lee Curtis and Pamela, I can't wait to see it. And I think this is amazing because this is someone who is in her second part of her life and she's got another chance. And that's why she took it. And I think it's great. She also had a stunning diamond necklace on. So Demi Moore, she's my other best dress for the evening. Her hair was down, gorgeous. A neutral beigey dress with the structure and the sequins and stunning. Stunning. I mean, I love Demi Moore and she made me cry. Her speech, best speech of the night. Best speech of the night, which we will get to. Andrew Scott was in was it powder blue? It was blue. Monochrome all the way down except for the shoes. I liked it. I like a pop of color. It was kind of like this color. It was a risk and I love it. Oh, Zoe Kravitz. She was there also. I think she was in like black velvet. Very, very pretty. Very simple. Always looks good. I mean, when does she not look good? Anthony Mackie. I love me some Anthony Mackie. He's the friend you want. Like, you could just tell. Him and Sebastian Stan, they are buddies. They are BFFs. But he was in velvet, like a dark green. So sweet, so kind. I think he might have been hitting on Zuri Hall, which I was like, ooh, I kind of like that for the two of them. They were kind of cute. There was a little chemistry going on there. She was a little nervous. I like that a lot. And he's just, I just think he's a very sweet man. Very, very sweet man. Nicole Kidman, my other best dressed. Silver. Now, she also went to the fans. Now, Nicole Kidman is Nicole Kidman. Icon, superstar, huge, Academy Award winner, like up there. Best she's looked in I don't even know how long. The hair was hairing and giving. The dress was giving. The back, she looked great. She looked happy. She went over and took pictures with fans. Again, both sides didn't have to do that. I thought that was great. Andrew Garfield also did that. He went over and took pictures with fans. I thought that was great. But, oh, the big hair and the silver dress, she looked fantastic. Angelina Jolie was there with her daughter, Zahara. Angelina, I don't know what, it was a beautiful dress. She looked beautiful. Again, when doesn't she look good? She could wear jeans and a t-shirt and she still looked good. It was dripping. It was, I don't know if it was sequins. I don't know the material, but it looked like something like ropes, but it was like metallic. Oh, my little light went off. There we go. Light's back on. It was great. I miss it. Oh. Hold on. Angelina Jolie. Oh, here we go. Jeremy Strong. Jeremy Strong is an amazing actor. He's a thespian. He is a thespian. And he enjoys, it's like he was going off. Listen, he took a risk, and I'm loving that he took a risk on so many levels. On so many levels. The bucket hat was a bit much. It really was. This is going to be now for the next 20 minutes. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was great. Selena Gomez in like this silver blue, I want to call it. Gorgeous. I mean, I think her best accessory is her new fiance, Benny Blanco. I think, or I should also say her best accessories are Martin Short and Steve Martin. They're so cute together. I absolutely love it. We're going to forget that other light right now. The other belle of the ball, I mean, how can there not be, is Zendaya. Stunning. Stunning. The hair, the glam, the dress, everything. Now, rumor has it, I do not know if it is confirmed, allegedly her and Tom Holland are engaged, which would be so nice because I think they're so cute, and that would be lovely to see that happen for them. Cynthia Erivo. Now, I was hoping for a little bit more. Didn't have to be green. We would have liked if it was green. But usually her fashion is amazing. It fell a little flat for me. The dress was beautiful. Of course she looked stunning. The nails were everything. 5 hours it took her to do her nails. Well, her manicurist. I was hoping for a little more. I was a little disappointed. I will say that. I was a little disappointed. Selena Gomez was also dripping in diamonds. We're going to go to that. Timothy Chalamet had little sparkles on his tux and his Bob Dylan scarf and the boots. The bottom part, the hem and the boots needed to be fixed. I wanted to just tuck it down, but I didn't. I couldn't. I wasn't there. But I would have done that. Like, who let him get out of the car? Like, take a minute, fix him up, make sure he's zhuzhed, and then send him on his way. Emily Stone, gorgeous in red, Louis Vuitton, that I do know, and the hair looked gorgeous. The Rock, in lilac, with his eldest daughter, who looks stunning. He looked great. I love Melissa McCarthy. I love her. I do. She is funny. Her and her husband are funny together. If you haven't listened to their podcast, it's hysterical. She's beautiful. I don't understand why she puts on so much clothing. The cape or jacket with the ruffles, not needed. The pink, the color looked gorgeous on her. Her makeup, her hair, stunning. The ruffles, so not needed. It was too much. Less would have been a little bit more. Like if she just had maybe a flowing pink cape with a ruffle around the collar or something, great. The whole thing, you lost her. And she looked so amazing. So I was a little disappointed with that. I thought that was just a bit much. Jamie Foxx, in his tuxedo, he had a cute, I don't know if it was a bolero, but he had a brooch here. And then he had sequins here. He looked fantastic. And again, he was also sweet to a lot of the interviewers on the carpet. Colman Domingo, now Coleman. Coleman is the man of the red carpets. Past couple of years, he's been nominated. He's a phenomenal actor. I think we had a little too much going on. beautiful feather brooch. But then we had like 3 different types of polka dots and a poofy, yeah. So I think we need to pick 1 or 2, go with that. But he still is the king of the carpet. Ariana, her ponytail was back. I liked the hair color. Her makeup was beautiful. Her dress was Givenchy Couture from 1966. It didn't fit her right. It was a little dull. Not that she had to wear pink either. I'm not saying that, but I would have loved a more like wear black. You know, wear something chic and not that this wasn't chic, but it didn't fit her. It looked boxy. And I'm like, oh no. And she was also very sweet, speaking to a lot of different people. And she was very, very sweet. And I love that about her. And she had the gloves too. I didn't like the gloves. So while everything from here, like here up, stunning. Down, I wasn't a fan. So just saying. Miles Teller, he can wear a tuxedo. And his wife looked gorgeous. They're a gorgeous couple. Absolutely gorgeous couple. You put Miles and Glenn back together in a movie, forget it. Kate Winslet, I know people didn't like her white suit. My dog is going to bark in 2 seconds. She had on a white suit with she looked great. Listen, Kate Winslet is one of my favorite actresses. She is amazing. She looked phenomenal. Oh, and then we have Mickey Madison, star of Anora. She had on gold too, and oh, it was beautiful. It just sparkled. I don't know the type of, it wasn't sequins, but it just was like, oh, and it laid so perfectly. I really, really enjoyed it. And to round it out, you know, Harrison Ford was there, and there was in Adam Sandler, Matt Rife was on the carpet, but Colin Farrell. I did forget about Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield had on like a fun hunter green, forest green tux, looked great, no tie. His accessory was his glasses, where everyone was swooning over, and I thought he looked great. But let me tell you, Colin Farrell, winner last night for the Penguin, which was much deserved. He looked amazing. All right, now let's get to the show. The host was Nikki Glaser, first female to do it alone. She killed that show. She was fire. She landed every joke. She took risks. She wasn't mean. She was funny. She sang. She freaking sang. Who does that? I was so proud of her, like beyond proud. And her costume changes. Ooh, the pink one, the silver. I can't. She looked phenomenal. She looked phenomenal. Kept it moving, thought it was great. She killed it. Bravo to you. She should be hosting now next year as well, because she did a truly, truly fantastic job. And I don't know if they worked it out before him, but when she threw it to Adam Sandler about Timothée Chalamet, that was really funny. I just can't. I just thought she really did a phenomenal job. And you know, you don't have to be mean. And she kind of said like, you know, it's not a roast. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to host, keep it kind of light and fluffy and make my little jokes here and there. And she did. And I thought she did a phenomenal job. And you make fun a little bit, but that's how you do it. That's what you do. So Golden Globes, take note. You should be hiring her for next year. Like, she was great. That is your girl. And I'm so happy for her. Her special is great too. If you can watch it, she's really fantastic. Here's my note of what I didn't like about the show. The presenters are obviously important, but it's really about the winners. I don't think we need to have a 7-minute banter between the 2 people giving out an award. That takes away from the people who get 30 seconds to say thank you after however many years of work it might have taken them to get to this point. So can we kind of cut that down like to a minute, maybe 2 minutes, and give them more time to say thank you? There was just a couple bits that was like, we don't need them to be that long. Also, I didn't like, as Seth Rogen was like, this is really weird, how they came in on the side and then they turned. What was the point of that? I don't really get that. I wasn't a fan of that. Kind of weird. Okay. Kieran Culkin, great actor. This movie, too, I have not seen. I have heard amazing things about it. I can't wait to see it. Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin. I need you to say more. I love his acceptance speeches. And Pedro wasn't there. I couldn't make fun of Pedro, although they did make fun of Pedro on the carpet, which was hysterical. He had, I think his daughter put like fake tattoos on his arm, which I thought was adorable. He did have a jacket, but I love that he went up without it and didn't care. And that he gave a shout out to Mario Lopez that he took a shot. I think that's hysterical. That was really funny. Kathy Bates, first of all, if you're not watching Matlock, I don't know what's wrong with you. Matlock, High Potential Ghosts, those are shows that you should be watching. They are fantastic. Her and Anthony Ramos were so adorable. He was so sweet to her. I just thought that was super, super cute. So I'm going to try and pronounce this man's name because he won. Tadanubo Asano. And he won for supporting in a television show for Shogun. It was such a sweet speech. He was like, wow, thought he would need an interpreter. And he said, this was a big present for me. And he says, you don't know me. I'm an actor from Japan and I leave tomorrow and I start filming again. And he said, thank you. And I was like, I love that. I love that so much. No one really knew unless they watched the show. And he was definitely surprised. They swept their categories. It was amazing. Can we talk about women of a certain age that were there last night? Sharon Stone, stunning. The Ropes, it was like a mint green, stunning, looked amazing. Oh my gosh, and her diamond bracelets. Non-English Amelia Perez, beautiful speech. Zoe Saldana, when Zoe won, I was just so happy for her, There were a couple surprises. I think the animated movie, everyone thought The Wild Robot was going to win, and it went to Flo, which was very surprising. Wicked kind of only winning the big box office one, which I was confused about because I thought Deadpool and Wolverine made more money, but I guess it didn't. That was weird. Hollywood is still weird. Things still happen in certain ways. And also you have to understand there's only like under 300 people within the Hollywood Foreign Press, and that's who votes for these films. So usually they vote for new shows. They try to be diversive in who they're choosing, which they definitely have been. Take them a long time to do that. But the director of Amelia Perez is French. And his speech was beautiful as well. When Colin Farrell won for The Penguin, I don't think I've ever screamed so loud since like Christian Bale won the Oscar. He was so handsome and so dapper. And I loved that he thanks Carolina, I think was her name, from Craft Services, who would bring him coconut water. Like, she should have felt like $1 billion if she was watching that. He remembered to thank her. He could have thanked anybody else. He didn't even thank his sons. He thanked her because she did that every half hour she was there. And he's like, I have to thank her. I just think that is amazing. I've met him, very humble man, very, very nice man, always great to fans, so definitely. So the kind of the one of the upsets as well for me was Jodie Foster. Jodie Foster's great, love her. She has 5 of them. She has 5. She has 5 Golden Globes. You could have shared the wealth. Not saying that you should have given it to Sofia Vergara because she was very vocal last night and very upset that she did not win, which I thought was hysterical. You missed the mark. Kristen Milioti from The Penguin should have won hands down. Her performance in The Penguin was exquisite. It was, when you talk about a villain, I mean, Colin was, but what her performance was, how she became this character, that was a big surprise. However, here's the challenge. Jodie did win the Emmy, and I think, like, it's in the SAG, so it's kind of like, it's weird because now they're together, so Jodie won, like, I get it. I will maybe say this now, depending on who else gets nominated. When the Emmys come around in September, Kristen could win. Because they'll most likely be nominated for an Emmy. So let's see what happens there. But it was funny. Sofia Vergara was funny. Demi Moore, when she won, she obviously was not expecting to win. I have not seen The Substance. I hear it's phenomenal. Her speech was exquisite. And to think that she was, again, going to give it up because what people said to her. And she is a very underrated actress. I have loved Demi Moore movies forever. She, from St. Elmo's Fire to About Last Night to, I'm sorry, one of my favorite Demi Moore movies is G.I. Jane. And I know that's a hot topic with Chris Rock and Will Smith, but she kicked butt in G.I. Jane. Like, I thought that was a great movie. Disclosure, great movie. But I think she kind of took a backseat because she was a mom. Bruce Willis, her husband, they kind of did movies not together, And I don't care what you say, striptease, that was another one. Oh, I can't believe she did striptease. Yeah, but she was great. She was great in it. And she looked amazing. And one thing that I took from that was, as a woman, you'll never be perfect. And you'll never be enough. But put down the measuring stick. That, I'm getting, just thinking about that. Put down the measuring stick. She was truly, truly phenomenal. Sebastian Stan. That was a big surprise too. I wasn't expecting that. I was so happy for him. He has been a very underrated actor. I remember watching him. Oh my gosh, what was the movie? Was it a vampire movie? The Covenant he was in, I want to say. That was like, look it up. I don't, it's on streaming somewhere. The Covenant was a good one. And then Once Upon a Time, he played the Mad Hatter. And I'm like, who is this guy? And then Marvel comes along. And then drips and drabs, he does these little movies. And it's like, wow. And he did 2 amazing films. The Apprentice, which was one of them, with Jeremy Strong. And this other film, A Different Something. Oh, the name. Now, Colin was great. Sebastian Stan always dresses well. He had the long coat, tailored, spiffy, fantastic. He looked great. Talking about tolerance, teaching tolerance to your children, that it's okay if people are different and we should embrace people's differences and not put them down. And he talked about the disabled community, which always gets a bad rap. And I just think it was fantastic. And he just, his speech was, everybody's speeches last night, really, really great. I have to say there wasn't one that I did not enjoy, because sometimes they babble or they don't know what to say. No, not last night. I thought it was great. Jeff Goldblum and Michelle Yeoh presenting. He is Zaddy. Well, really, Pedro is Zaddy. And when she's talking about slays the boots down, whatever, and she was looking to Cynthia and Ariana, they're like, yeah, that's what you're supposed to say. I just thought it was hysterical. They were fantastic. And again, just a couple surprises. And then you had Michael Keaton give an award. My favorite, though, was probably Harrison Ford and Anthony Mackie, where Anthony Mackie was not paying attention. And Harrison was like, excuse me, we got an award to give out. They're great. They have their new movie coming out, the new Captain America. Very excited. But I think it just goes to show, because while Wicked is a huge sweeping film, phenomenal film, it is great. It's a phenomenal, I kind of stopped taking notes at one point. It is a phenomenal movie. It truly, truly is. Oh, Denzel Washington was there. Oh, wait, we must speak of her. The Queen. Viola Davis. Okay, so I watched it on TV. I didn't watch it on Paramount Plus. I watched it on CBS. Why did we not show Viola's speech and Ted Danson? Ted Danson won the Carol Burnett Award, and Viola won the Cecil B. DeMille Award, but we didn't even see them. Like, you didn't even pan the camera to them. What was that about? Her dress, her makeup, her hair, that is what beauty is. And I would totally wear that dress. It was like a rainbow, not rainbow, but it was like a Technicolor. Sheer, the cape, it fit her like a glove. Oh, she was stunning. I was really happy to see so many different people. And then you have Hacks won. Hacks is good. I was hoping for maybe something else to win, but okay, Jean Smart's great. She's a great actress. They've got a great cast. It'll be interesting to see, what goes on. And then I think the big shocker of the night was Emilia Perez winning Best Picture. It surprises me, but it doesn't surprise me, because I watched it and it took me a minute to take it all in. It's heavy, it's violent, it's deep, and it's a musical in Spanish with subtitles. So, people are like, well, what about Wicked? I get it. I completely get it. It's kind of the Barbie syndrome, like what happened with Barbie last year. Barbie was great. Should it have won? No. Should it have won Best Picture at the Oscars? No, I don't feel that it should. But I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, did it kind of get robbed last night? Maybe. Because here's the thing. Amelia Perez is not funny. It's not. It's very serious, but it's a musical. So that's why it's in that category. So that's where I'm like, that's not really fair. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a comedy. Yes, it's a musical, but it's not a comedy. So shouldn't that have been put in the other category? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only thing where I was like, that's a little fine line there. The Brutalist, which I really want to see. I heard amazing things about this movie. It won, which I figured that it would. Stanley Tucci and Ralph Fiennes. Conclave, watch it. It's on Peacock. It's fantastic. John Lithgow, fantastic. 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 That's all I can say about that. Truly, the acting is superb. The look of it is superb. You would think they were in the Sistine Chapel, and they were not. They were on a movie set. Like, that's how authentic it looked. Amazing. And Ralph Fiennes, and the music, fantastic. Adrian Brody, he won. I've never met him. I've wanted to meet him for a long time. I think he's an excellent actor. And I kind of had a feeling he was going to win. It's a tough category. I had a feeling he would win. And I did not know he was Hungarian. And I'm part Hungarian. My grandparents were Hungarian. Great-grandmother was Hungarian. And I just think this type of a movie is important. And I know people are like, oh, but, why did this win over that? And it's like, this one because of the message. And it's a 3-hour film. And it's also, I believe, a somewhat independent film. So when the director who won said, to the studios, like, thank you for listening to me. And he's like, it took me years. And, it takes directors a long time to kind of, if this is their vision and they want to get it out there. The director, and I'm only going to speak to this once, when the director made the comment that the director's cut is what matters, he was not talking about the Blake Lively situation. He was not. He was talking about his movie that just won, that now will probably get nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. He was talking about, it's a smaller film. It's not a big blockbuster film. And he has to go to these studios and pitch this idea and say, yeah, this is 3.5 hours long about an architect who escaped, Hungary during the occupation. Like, that's what he was talking about. He could care less about the whole Little It Ends With Us situation. Was not talking about that at all. And if that's what you think he was thinking about right then and there, that was not it. Hate to break it to you. So this is a long one. This is my first one. Again, bravo, Nikki Glaser. You should definitely lock her in for at least the next 2 years. I think she did a phenomenal job. Kudos to her. I just loved every part of it. Like, it truly was great. The fashion was great. And I love seeing the interactions between them when they go. And that's the other thing people don't understand. Like, these celebrities don't see each other all the time. They don't. It's not like they go out for coffee all the time. Like, maybe who is it? Like Jennifer Aniston and Jimmy Kimmel. They're friends. They do spend time together. They vacation together. But, like, many of these people they only see them at these award shows. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, it's so good to see you. And sometimes they're meeting for the first time. And you have, you had a lot of new people in the room. You had a lot of, all of those directors, that was their first time being nominated. You didn't see Steven Spielberg. You didn't see Martin Scorsese. You didn't see Robert De Niro. You didn't see, who am I missing? Ron Howard. You didn't see Steven Soderbergh. Those are names that stick out to me. You didn't see those. They were not there. And now you have these new directors coming in. Because, you gotta pass along the torch sometimes. Not that they've gone away, but I just liked a Nicolas Cage with his little face work looking really, really good. I love Michael Keaton. I love Michael Keaton. Oh, the other one that upset me, I didn't watch it. But they also won the Emmy, was Baby Reindeer. Penguin should have won. With the limited series. And on the carpet, Richard Gant, the gentleman who wrote it and won for it, it was so funny because on the carpet, he's like, The Rock is here. I'm a huge wrestler. Oh my, like, he was so excited. And then, like, he gets, and there's The Rock right there. And he's like, oh my gosh, like, The Rock is here. Like, I love, that's the kind of stuff that I live for. That's what I think is great. And I heard it's phenomenal. And she won, the actress in it. And I thought that was great. And also it was kind of cool. Kathy Bates gave her the award. And in an interview, in one of the interviews, many interviews that she had done, the actress, she remembered, I think, reciting something that Kathy Bates had done, maybe fried green tomatoes or something like that. So to receive the award from Kathy Bates, that's kind of cool. I just love how some things come around full circle. And listen, There are things going on in the world right now that are way more important than celebrities winning awards. I totally get that. But I think it also brings a little levity. There are people sitting home. There are people that are working on Broadway that are in the chorus, that are not a star, that are wanting to do it. There are people that are extras on Law and Order, or extras on one of the Chicago shows, my personal favorite, Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, that may aspire to be like this, or they could be in acting school right now, and they're like, this is who I want to be, this is who I want to become. So I think it's important that we don't have to put them up on pedestals. We're not doing that, but we can still enjoy what they do. Making movies isn't easy. Making movies is difficult. They're away from their families. They're away from their friends. They have to become a completely different person sometimes. So, people are like, oh, that's so easy. Well, let's see you try it and tell us how easy it is. You know what I mean? Like it's, and have people critiquing you every 5 seconds. And, the director or producer saying to you, nope, I don't like that. Nope, I don't like that. Nope. You got to lose 10 pounds. Nope, you got to gain 10 pounds. Nope, you got to... I don't think it's an easy job by any means. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't wait to see. Wednesday is the SAG nominations. I'm excited for those. Sunday on E, the 12th, is the Critics Awards hosted by Chelsea Handler. That's also on E. And then the SAG Awards are in February. And then the Academy Awards are in March. That will have a big one. I may get a little more dressed up for that one, but we'll chat some more. This was my first official podcast. It's really long. I was not expecting this. Hopefully this loads properly and everybody can enjoy it. I'm a little nervous, but we're going to see how it goes. Right? Right. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. If you have any comments, questions, please keep them respectful and let me know what you thought. Let me know if you want me to do a review of a movie, let me know. There are some that I haven't seen yet because I've been sick. I wanted to see Baby Girl because I hear it's fantastic. Some that are out in the movies right now, some, like The Brutalist I want to see, Baby Girl I would like to see. And now that these movies have won, I'm sure they will come to the theaters now. The Last Showgirl I will be seeing, that comes out on the 10th. So things like that. So if you would like to say, hey, can you give me a quick review? We're going to try and do 15-minute reviews on those movies. Let me know. If you want me to review a movie that maybe you've never seen, but I have, because I have seen a lot of movies in my time. Yeah, sometimes more than once. Let me know. Tell me in the comments. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for staying and watching. I appreciate you so much. Woo! One and done, and we're in the can, and I'm so excited. I will get back to travel. We will do some more travel ones, but it's award season. Very exciting. So let me know in the comments. And you know what? Let me know in the comments if you could, because I'm going to talk about this next time. If you had the opportunity and you were walking the red carpet, what type of a dress would you wear? What type of a suit would you like to wear? Like classic tuxedo, would you like a color, what have you? And taking your partners out of it, who would you like to be your guest? Would it be your mom? Would it be your dad? Would it be your brother or your sister? Would it be your cousin? Would it be The Rock? Would it be Vin Diesel? Oh, wait, we got to talk about that really quick. That was the best shade of the evening. Was when Vin Diesel, who looked a little, he walks out and then he looks over and he's like, hey, Dwayne. That was the funniest thing ever. And he's just like, I think it's made up. I don't think it's real anymore. I don't. They had beef for the Fast and the Furious a little bit because Dwayne got his feelings hurt. The Fast and Furious was Vin's and Paul Walker's kind of thing. But that little, that was so funny. I'm sorry. I'm a big fan of the Fast and Furious. So and I love The Rock. So I thought that was very amusing. And I love Moana. Moana's a great movie. Moana 2 is really cute. I have not seen The Wild Robot. That is also on my list. But to rent it was like $25. And I was like, I'm not renting it for $25. So maybe they'll re-release it in theaters. I hope. I would really like to see it. But that's that. So there we go. That's what I've got to say for now. And I wasn't going to say anything. But I will end it on this. I think in 2025, we as women, even if we disagree and maybe don't care for another woman or person for that matter, I don't think we have to be mean about it. And what I've witnessed online on social media by other women putting down Blake Lively is disgusting. I was shocked. I was appalled by what people were saying. And I'm like, you don't even know her. Like, none of us know her. All these people on social media that are talking, you don't know her. And I'm not saying right or wrong, but when I read all 80 pages, like, that's not good. And not only that, there was a meeting that was had where a document was noted of what she asked not to continue. She also asked in that document, when everything was done, that there was no retaliation. So now that happened. And all of these bad things that are coming out about her, that she's a mean girl and she's not nice and all these things, that's the other side. I'm not saying his name because I don't like the road that he took and what he did, because it's there. The proof is there, unfortunately. And the funny thing is, Blake didn't sue anybody. She just issued a complaint. She could, but then he decided to do that. Which, I get it. She was saying, hey, you didn't follow the rules. You all signed a document. You all said this wasn't going to happen. And it continued to happen. And now you're questioning my character and putting me in a bad light. And that's where, and then these people like, I knew she was, and now people are saying, well, she's friends with Taylor Swift, so Taylor Swift must be. Where is all this coming from? And that's what I'm saying. Let's wait and see what happens. Let's not put either one of them, while from what it said from hers, I'm kind of on her side. And when you just kind of take down to the nitty gritty of, there was a meeting that was had, that was documented, paperwork was signed, which said no retaliation. After. And you had retaliation. There's proof of it. You signed a paperwork. She won. Whether you like her or not, that doesn't matter. She, and whenever you're in a workplace and things are toxic and you're being harassed in any way, sexually is probably one of the worst, but their harassment comes in all different forms. And you have a meeting, and then you have something, you have a document like this, and you have it dated. You have the proof. You have the proof. So I just, let's take a step back. Let's take a step back, because what if that was your friend? What if that was your sister? You don't have to like them. You don't. But I think people are overreaching, and now they're like, oh, well, Taylor Swift she's a mean girl too. Why, how did you even get that Taylor Swift is a mean person? Same thing with Beyonce too. Oh, Beyonce's mean. What are you talking about? How do you even know this about these people? You know nothing about that. They're billionaires. These people have so much money. Why do you think they're mean? Because they're women? That's what I don't like. Because if it was men, you wouldn't say that. But because they're women, they're mean. No. Let's take our time. All the jokes that you think were had last night at the Golden Globes, they had nothing. These people could care less about Blake. Could care less. It's just like, no. They could care less about these people. They don't care. They only care about themselves. Trust me. They do not care about them in that capacity. Not even could care less. So that's what I have to say about that. So let's try and wait till we get, before we crucify them, in social media and things like that. And because once you say one thing and then it's just like, well, this person said that, so that makes it true. No, that's not how it works. And the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, totally different. Two totally different things. No. Totally different. Separate. And I was never, I know who Blake Lively is. I've seen a few of her movies. I never watched her show. I think she's beautiful. She has got great fashion sense. And just let's leave it at that. But let's not, and even with him, I don't feel he is in the right. I think he is wrong with some of the things that was said. But the guy's got a family. Like, let's wait, and before we crucify both of these people, let's wait and see. Can we do that? Can we try that and not be mean? We don't want to stoop to that level, right? We want to rise above. We want to be above that. So there you go. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Toodaloo.